What I find interesting is that, for example, if the police want to come into your house, they need to have a warrant, but they want to not be able to have a warrant to download the contents of your phone. And one would argue that the contents of your phone contain much more sensitive information than the contents of your home. Now, someone who will be able to shed some more light on this is my guest coming up next. It's Griff Ferris. He's Legal and Policy Officer at Big Brother Watch UK. Welcome to the show, Griff.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I take it you guys at Big Brother Watch will be very sceptical of this new power, should it be granted, to the police.
Well, I mean, it's not just something that's going to be granted to the police. It's something that it's a power they have, and it's something they're using at the moment. And it's something that we're very worried about, along with a lot of other people in the privacy community.
Yeah. Can we be clear, Griff? When do they have the power to do this? Is this when you have been arrested? Is this when you have been stopped? Or can they just knock on your door and say, right, let's have a look at your phone?
Well, this is something that they're doing as part of criminal investigations. But this is not something that just affects people who are suspected of crimes. This is witnesses. This is victims. So people who have reported crimes to the police and have their phones or laptops or other devices taken as evidence. Their personal digital lives are being examined by the police without, as you say, without a warrant. And with the amount of personal information that everyone has on their phones these days, I'm sure both of you in the studio there have your phones very close to you, and you wouldn't want the police accessing them without some form of oversight.
Well, he won't even let me access it. This is the thing, Griff. This is perhaps the problem. Alexis won't let me look at his phone, but he's happy.
I'm not happy. Listen, I'm with you on this one, and I'm with Griff. What I have to say, though, is that you have had cases, for example, where there was a case a few months ago where a chap was in court accused of rape, and what actually saved him from being convicted, he claimed he's innocent, and indeed he was innocent, and that was proved by text messages from his accuser that were looked at after the accusations were made. The case came to light for different reasons. Yeah. The reason actually was that the CPS hadn't actually bothered to go through the text. But
so
we cannot, hang on, let me finish. We cannot, ignore the fact that your phone and people's phones and digital life can be instrumental in solving crime.
But before we get Griff to respond to that, I just want to be clear, Alexis. On one side, you're saying you're agreeing with myself and Griff. On the other side, you keep giving a set of examples, including that rather dodgy one, I would say, when it was a lack of disclosure rather than disclosure that saved him, because they didn't bother looking at the information they had. Are you in favour of the police being able to go into your phone? They don't have to knock on your door. They can do it electronically or not.
I have to say no. I think they should have to get a warrant. But the reason I believe, and Griff can jump in and save me on this, but the reason I believe that the police would like to do this without a warrant has to do with speed of getting that information. It is very, very easy, if I know that I'm being investigated, to delete everything from my phone, to destroy everything. If you stop someone in the street, hang on, let me finish. If you stop someone in the street, and Griff's going to talk after that, not you, so just chill there, buddy. But, it's very easy to hit a button, delete everything, delete the sensitive information, and get away with what you've done. And I think the police, have a point, perhaps. I'm trying to see their point of view, where they say, well, listen, if we can not bother with a warrant there and then, I think perhaps if I had to choose, I would say that in exceptional circumstances, they should have that right to access someone's phone. Griff, what do you think?
Look, of course, like digital evidence or the evidence that's on people's phones is vital in serious criminal investigations. Something like 90% of crime has a digital element, and that's unsurprising given how much we use our phones, how much we use internet communications. I'm not saying that it couldn't or shouldn't be used at all, but there just must be limits on the use of this far-reaching technology. The way it works at the moment is that police are using quite advanced technology. There's a firm called Celebrite, which is an Israeli private security firm, and number of police forces in the UK are using this technology to access phones without a person's knowledge. So there's no process by which you're notified that your phone the contents of your phone has been downloaded, so there's also therefore no consent in that process. And this is happening, it's widespread. It's something like more than 50% of police forces have used this type of technology to access people's phones. Something like 90% of police forces have used a form of technology to access some form of electronic device over the last few years. This is a vast practice, and it's something that is going on without any kind of judicial oversight. This evidence is very important, but there just should be some form of checks and balance to allow the police to stop the police from using this completely freely.
Are you concerned, Griff, that there is corruption in every system, including in the police? That's a statement of fact. And therefore, if you wanted to abuse the information, all you have to do is serve your time till you get to the level that you can get the information. That sounds a bit conspiratorial, but I'm pretty sure.
You think?
Well,
yeah. Look,
I think, but I believe that it could happen. So sorry, Griff, go on.
Well, you don't want to focus entirely. Look, yes, there are the problems you talk about are everywhere, and it's not fair to necessarily just focus on the police. But yes, when it comes to the amounts of information that they're getting from downloading someone's phone, you're getting phone contacts, Facebook chats, Signal, which is an end-to-end encrypted app, but you can get this information when they use this technology: Twitter, WhatsApps, call logs, cell tower information, passwords. Thousands of deleted items. This includes browsing history, photos. It's a huge amount of information, and at the moment the police is sort of allowed to download this information and retain it. There's no clear guidance. The legal basis is outdated. This is an instance where technology has vastly outstripped the law. And at the moment, it's operating in a very, very grey area. And yes, that can allow all kinds of problems of misuse of that information, abuse of having that power over someone when you know that much information about them.
Griff, has this now come into law? Nobody can contest it. Nobody can stop it. We just have to live with it?
No, it's not the case. Basically, PACE, which is the law which deals with criminal evidence, it's called the Police and Criminal Evidence Act. It was updated some years ago so that police were allowed to take digital evidence from individuals, but it's very vague. It's not clear. It needs to be updated, and it's because it's vague because technology has advanced so quickly. Like everyone's lives has advanced around that technology, and we now use that technology, and so much of our personal information goes through our phones. The police are operating on a sort of in a very sort of grey legal area, and it needs to be updated. And there is no warrant. So I think it's something that lawmakers need to look at. It's something that the police need to look at, so that there's some clear guidance on it. There's a clear legal basis, and potentially there should be some form of warrantry, so that when you access that kind of personal information through a phone, it's the same as if you needed a warrant to access someone's phone and access someone's home and search through their personal possessions in their home.
Okay. Griff, thank you so much for being part of the show. It's Griff Ferris there. He's a legal and policy officer at Big Brother Watch. I highly recommend Big Brother Watch's website, by the way.
It's fascinating.
It's really fascinating. They really spell out what powers the government have got on your data, on your browsing, and all those kind of things. It's really worth looking at their website, and it's non-political. It's just this is what's going on.
It's more than you'd ever imagine, actually.
It is.